Egypt, a girl used to ride a horse, but the surprising thing was that she used to let only powerful and strong young men ride on her horse. People asked her again and again, but she never told anyone about this secret. Another strange thing with her was that she used to hang a sack with her horse, which was full of stones, and there was a hole in this sack. As soon as the sack began to move, it opened the hole. The sack kept moving forward and the stones kept falling. People were surprised to see all this. But what is the secret of these stones? And why does this girl only ride young men? She never made any old man or woman sit. To know this secret, a merchant reached Sultan Salahuddin Ayyubi. When the Sultan found out about this, he took the form of an ordinary passenger instead of calling the girl, and went to him himself. The girl made him sit on the horse. She did not know that he was the Sultan. As soon as he got on the horse, the sack began to move, and after a while, the Sultan's gaze suddenly fell on a thing in the sack, which left his eyes wide open. Friends, this is the time when Sultan Salahuddin Ayyubi was ruling Egypt. In this era, Egypt was a strong and prosperous empire where people were living peacefully. In those days, the season of wheat was going on, and there was a special liveliness in the markets of the whole country. As soon as the morning came, the farmers from the villages kicked their wheat, donkeys, horses, and legs and headed for the city markets. There was hope on their faces, because they knew that they would get a suitable compensation for their hard work. On the other hand, there were also big traders in the markets who came from distant cities and countries to buy wheat and take it for sale. There was a crowd of people everywhere in the markets. Somewhere there were piles of wheat, somewhere people were buying things of their need, and somewhere children were happy to see the bustle of the market with their elders. The farmers sold their wheat to buy clothes, groceries, and other necessary things, and happily returned to their homes. Even the traders were satisfied because they were getting good stuff at a reasonable price. In this way, the whole system was running in balance. But slowly, behind this beautiful scene, a silent change began. In the largest market of the government of Egypt, some traders came together and made a plan. They decided that they would reduce the price of wheat as much as they wanted so that they could get more benefit. Earlier, where you used to get 5 to 7 sacks of wheat in exchange for 1 dirham, now the same traders started taking 15 sacks of wheat by giving 1 dirham. This change seemed small, but it had a very big impact. The farmers who used to get the right compensation for their hard work were now not even getting half the price. At first, some people did not believe it, but when the farmers started going back disappointed with the market one by one, the truth came before everyone. Now the scene of the market was changing. The same market where happiness and satisfaction used to be seen before. Now there was a strange silence. Farmers who used to sell their wheat happily before now looked worried. Some farmers were forced to sell their wheat at a low price because they had no other way, while some would take their wheat back in the hope that the situation would improve the next day. But the traders looked happier than before. There was satisfaction on their faces because they were getting more wheat at a lower price. This difference was felt by everyone. On the one hand, the faces of the farmers are down, and on the other hand, the faces of the traders are open. This situation could not remain hidden for long. And finally, this news reached the great Sultan of Egypt, Sultan Saladin Ayyub. When he was told that the traders in the market have reduced the prices together and injustice is being done to the farmers, he was very surprised and worried. He thought that if this is the case in the largest market of the government, then what would be happening in other cities?
The Sultan loved his people very much, and he knew that the farmers are the foundation of any empire. If the farmers become weak, then the whole empire becomes weak. That is why he took this matter very seriously. Instead of making a decision immediately, he thought that he should first see the reality himself, because instead of believing what he heard, he wanted to see with his own eyes what was actually happening.
The hopes of the farmers in the markets were breaking, and a time was coming when a big problem was emerging amidst the happiness, and no one knew what would be the result of this. When news of the situation in the market reached Sultan Salahuddin Ayyub, he decided to know the truth himself, instead of sending a minister or a soldier, because he wanted to see with his own eyes what was actually happening with the farmers.
Therefore, one morning he took off his royal dress, wore a simple dress of a common trader, and took his reliable companion, i.e. Ali bin Sufyan, with him, and both quietly set off for the largest market in the city. When they entered the market, there was hustle and bustle everywhere, like before, but the sharp gaze of the Sultan immediately recognized the difference. People were busy buying and selling. Some people were busy buying grains, some people were buying clothes. But instead of happiness on the faces of the farmers, worry and fatigue were clearly visible, while the traders were smiling and talking. Sultan slowly walked in the market, looked at the people, and listened to them. In the meantime, he noticed
An old farmer who was standing with a mule on his back with 3 sacks of wheat. His face was clearly disappointing. The Sultan went near him and asked him like a common man, "Will you sell your wheat?" The old farmer replied in a tired tone that, "Huzur, I have brought this wheat from far away." But when he came here, he found out that the trader was not even buying our wheat at half price,